1,000, 2,000 people, there will be people sitting in the audience who think, who the hell does he think he is? If he knew what happened to me in John Lewis Sheffield last week, he wouldn't want to be standing there talking like this. I was also responsible during that time for all the escalated complaints that came to the directors and the chairman. So I was very conscious that although John Lewis is a great organisation and I had a wonderful career there, it is not perfect. And what used to get me out of bed every morning when I was in that role was that strive for consistency, that the experience delivered in John Lewis Aberdeen would be memorable and consistent as it would be if somebody was then on holiday in Southampton and shopped in that particular branch as well. And that's the challenge, I think. Your values awards this morning, you've obviously got some fabulous people in this business, I don't doubt that. I very rarely work with businesses that haven't got fabulous people, but are they all as good as that, and are they all as good as that all of the time is the challenge, I think, for you and any other business that might be focusing on this stuff. Often when I'm asked to do this sort of thing, and with consulting clients, I would say for about 30 or 40% of my consulting clients in the last 3 years, it started off with a conversation on the lines of, Andrew, can you come and do as a customer service training program? Because that's what we need, with more training. My response to that question usually, not that I want to turn down the work, is what do your people not know about the customer service standards you aspire to? Which might sound a little awkward, but it's an important question. They do know what we're trying to do, they're just not doing it. Training and retraining will not make them do it. Training is about knowledge transfer. It has a very important place. I do little bits of training from time to time. But the sort of stuff, if you're trying to drive a consistent customer experience through engagement with people, which is what we're talking about, yes, it's making it clear that that's what we're aiming at. This is perhaps some stories around what a really good experience might feel like. Had some great ones from your customers this morning. But it's not then about training, because usually the disconnect is, well, we know what to do, but they're just not doing it consistently. That's the thing. And training won't bridge that gap for you. In my experience, it absolutely won't. As they'll be saying is, oh, God, we did this 3 years ago and it didn't work then. I'll just keep my head down, it'll pass. Yeah, you see. Yeah, I knew you got some. They are good, though, because often what's put them in that box is poor leadership in the past. Because they've been told what to do, but not why they're being asked to do it, and what's in it for the business and what's in it for them, so they get cynical. But they do care. They're often long service people as well. And what I would just encourage you to do is hunt those people down, but spend time with them. So when they say, oh, we did that 3 years ago, it's a waste of time. Why didn't it work 3 years ago? The time might not have been right, our execution might have been off the mark, but tell me why it didn't work, because you might be able to help us get it to work this time. These people care about you and have real value. Where you want it. Bit of frivolity. What's that? It's an elephant. Well done. That wasn't a trick question. What's it doing? Any advances? What's it doing? I know this is childish, but it's flapping its ears. The point is, and this is a little frivolous for a senior management conference, I know, if you remember nothing else about me, you'll remember the elephant flapping its ears. That was the purpose of this slide. If you are standing that close to the detail of stuff, you won't see the bigger picture. And I used to use those two slides a lot in John Lewis because it's a big challenge that we were facing at the time. So think about what you're doing. Fast and dirty way to do this, go and do it tomorrow if you want, is get back to your offices and write down in priority order a list of tasks that you do in the week. And then start at the bottom of the list, write your values on the other side and start crossing them off. What's more important, our values or the stuff on the bottom of this list? When you've got about a third of the way up the list, you then go to whoever you report to and say, can I cross any more off, please? Are these values sufficiently important to you for me to keep crossing more off? Now, you'll get to stuff at the top of the list that you can't cross off. Of course you will, because you're operational managers, many of you, and that's fine. But it just addresses that balance between managing tasks and leading people. Really, really important, really important. If you don't get that right, it'll never work.